Evanilson, parabéns à primeira vitória do Bournemouth aqui no Emirates. O que achou do desempenho do time de hoje? Congratulations, the first time Bournemouth have ever won here at the Emirates. Evanilson, what did you make of the team's performance today?
Ficamos muito felizes pelos 3 pontos. Foi uma semana que trabalhamos bastante para essa partida. Sabemos da dificuldade que ia ser o jogo. E acho que conseguimos fazer aquilo que o nosso treinador pediu e saímos com os 3 pontos, que é muito importante.
We're so happy with the 3 points because we knew just how difficult this game was going to be today, but our manager told us exactly what to do, which meant we were able to get the 3 points today. And depois da chance no primeiro tempo, feliz como o gol, verdade? After that chance you had in the first half, how happy are you that you got on the score sheet?
Sim, eu tive alguma chance no primeiro tempo, não pude torná-la em gol, mas continuei o trabalho, eu sabia que outra oportunidade ia aparecer, apareceu e eu fico muito feliz em ter feito o gol e saído com a vitória.
Yeah, after that chance I had in the first half that was so close, I had to just keep going, keep working for that goal, and I finally got it, so I'm so happy with that. Você comemorou assim como escudo, uma ovação também. Como você se sente nesta equipe depois da primeira temporada aqui? You celebrated like this with your badge, you got an ovation when you came up as well. Just how happy are you in this team right now?
Eu estou muito feliz aqui, desde que eu cheguei eu sempre falo para todos, é um momento de muita felicidade estar nesse clube, estar jogando uma competição como essa, sabemos da dificuldade que é todos os jogos, ainda mais contra o Arsenal aqui na casa deles. Sair com os 3 pontos, isso que eu fiquei muito feliz, muito emocionado por ter feito o gol da vitória.
I'm so happy to be at this club, playing in this brilliant competition, and what's more, we were able to get a massive win here today, 3 points against Arsenal and a goal for me as well, or what could be better. E para terminar, the last question, o futebol europeu a próxima temporada, já próximo, verdade? European football next season, that little bit closer, right?
Então, desde que eu cheguei, eu tive esse projeto, né, de a gente procurar a competição europeia. Eu acho que tem uma convicção de disputar uma competição europeia. Eu acho que nosso time tem o talento para isso. Continuar o trabalho, tem mais 3 jogos ainda e buscar os 3 pontos, buscar as vitórias.
We're convinced that we have the squad for European football next season. There's so much belief. We have the players for it. We just have to keep going and get 3 points in the next game. Parabéns. Thank you. Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Obrigado indeed. Player of the Match award to our colleague Alex Aljo there. Absolutely outstanding. Michael understood about half of that without the need for Alex, didn't you?
A little bit.
Evanilson into double figures. They talked Dominic Solanke went. How would Bournemouth score goals? First season, he's had an injury as well. Another big goal today.
Exactly. I mean, we talk about Brighton, we talk about Brentford, we talk about quite a few teams in terms of their recruitment, but Bournemouth have been exceptional in recent times. Another one. He wasn't cheap, so...
No, but he was 25 million less than Dominic Solanke.
But he still wasn't cheap, and probably an easier one to find than others. You know, the likes of Kirkes, Semenyo, players like that have been for cheap money in relative terms.
So would you have taken double figures at the start of the season from a new recruit like that for his first season in the Premier League?
I think you would, yeah, absolutely. But it is par. I mean, 10 goals for somebody that's cost 40 odd million or whatever it was is probably part. Are you expecting that? Especially in a team that are in 8th in the league. So, yeah, he's been a decent signing and one that you would think that can improve, you know, having had his first season in the Premier League. But, no, Bournemouth have recruited really, really well. And as I mentioned before the game, I think the big thing for Bournemouth now is, can they keep these players? There's so many players, I'd say 4 maybe even 5 in the team, and maybe even their manager as well, that the big clubs are going to be looking at thinking, right, we can improve our squad by buying 1 or 2 of there.
I think Evanilson, he looks quite sharp. Like we saw again, his movement today for the header, what he missed was really good. I've seen him before. He's got good movement. He's got good energy in respects of running channels and working hard. And when you look at Semenyo on one side, maybe Tavernier, Cliver in and around him, he kind of stays in and around that box and sniffs out and gets chances like the one we even saw him score today. So you like to feel, if they are continuing to move forward in that way where they're gonna close down man to man and then press high, and then he's in there. He's in there. So you would fancy him to score even more goals next season once he gets even more used to what they're doing.
Yeah, 7 in 10 for him in all competitions. We'll come to his goal and the whys and wherefores about it in a moment. But talking about players linked elsewhere. We talked about Daniel Howson before the game started for his defensive work. He didn't have too much to do for the equaliser here, did he?
No, it was quite strange. You don't see this anymore. I mean, I played for a team in Stoke that scored one or two of these, but it's not really a tactic that you would use in the Premier League too much. Semenyo obviously comes on and he takes the long throw in. We see Lewis Skelly here actually just not even looking at the ball, but he's not even marking him as well. And Howson just pulls off the goalkeeper, really. He's not marked. He goes into the danger area and he flicks it into the corner. I mean, it's a pretty simple goal.
I think it's a really good goal from where he is, but like, you say the marking. I think the marking there and the same with the marking for the next goal. It's funny because both of the defence are not looking at the player who's about to try and score. That was really strange to see, especially when you know our Arsenal are quite diligent with their defensive work, but not so much this season. It's not been as good from set pieces this season. So to see them concede 2 goals like that at this stage of the season is quite disappointing as well. I know they're knackered. They must be. They're tired, I think, physically and mentally. I think they are tired, but they've got to go for that last push. They've got to finish it off.
Yeah, and it was 2 goals in 8 minutes in the end. Right.
Yeah, it was,
And another set play.
Well, it was, and again, when you look at that one there, we saw no one really challenged, and it's the same with this one. It's like, the ball's great. You can never underestimate how good the ball is, but you look again at Odegaard, he's not looking at the ball, he's just reacting off the man. Look, so I'm feeling, if he's faced round, maybe the same as Lewis Skelly, he can have better opportunity to maybe move his body into a situation where he can stop him from getting that. Because look, he can see everything. Martin can't see everything, even though it's come off of his arm for me. It has come off of his arm.
You still think from that angle that you can be certain?
Well, I can see it. Of course I can see it. It's come off of his arm. It's like, I'm sure they'll have some fancy way of explaining it, what makes me think, oh, OK then. But the fact is, it's come off of here.
Well, the word was insufficient conclusive evidence to be certain that it had struck the arm.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. But, like, for me, it looks like it comes off his arm. When you look at where his arm is there, if you just watch the ball, they could say whatever they want, however they want to say it. Look where that comes off of. There, look, there it is. So they can say all them fancy, insufficient, whatever they want to say. That's come off of his arm. Just say that. Just say it's come off his arm, but we're still going to give it because it's close proximity. I don't know. But, like, I just don't like, I'm tired of the fanciness. But at the same time, Martin Odegaard again and Miles Lewis-Skelly marking back to goal is always a worry for me. I don't like to see. I want to see people seeing the ball so they can attack it or they can react, but it didn't happen.
Are you happy with the check there on the handball?
I agree with Wright. It's come off his arm. I guess you have to be conclusive to disallow it. I don't mind that rule. I just think when the ball is bouncing, so it's coming up this way, there is no other way it can't go up. It can't hit me and not go up unless it hits something like your arm. If I take my arms out the equation, it hits me here, it bounces and goes high. It's just, physics just tell you that. So as soon as it went in, me and Righty said it's got to have come off your arm. The ball can't go back down unless it's hit something that's stuck out of your body to make it go down. So we knew it had hit his arm straight away. If there's no camera angle to say it's sufficient, then I hear it, I get it. But I would agree. I think it's a handball.
Now then, as we mentioned, it was another set piece. Look at this. They haven't conceded the most goals from set pieces, but Arsenal don't concede many. Just 31 all season, but 12 of them now from set plays. So that is the highest percentage in the Premier League. Almost 39% of the goals they've conceded in the league have come from set plays. Now, quite rightly, we've produced the figures at the other end of the pitch for Arsenal this season and praised them to the hilt about the different types of corners, etc. Is that in any way a concern going forward?
I'd say it's a concern. You know what, Steve? Of course it's a concern. The percentages are there for everyone to see. We've got the most, but the biggest concern is how static we were in the box. I don't know if it's because we haven't got Gabby Margalles in there to organise it and be a bit more aggressive, but the way we were in those particular instances, no one seemed to be doing anything. And it seemed very easy. No one was off the ground. No one was like urgent or trying to stop it. And that is why probably the 38%, you can look at it there and you think, okay, yeah, I can believe that. But at the same time, when you see it with your eyes, that's poor defending. And I could put it down to tiredness, fatigue, I don't know. But that's poor defending. And it seems to be catching on because we've got 30%, 38% there.
And it's quite ironic, isn't it? Because we've been lauding Arsenal.
Yeah.
We've been talking about how good their set-piece coach must be. And obviously he is in one box, but he's the worst. Well, they've got the worst record percentage-wise in the other box. Yeah. So I'd suggest he needs to start practicing a little bit more at the other end, because it's fine scoring all those goals, but if you're going to concede the most as well, or bigger, highest percentage, then that's a problem.
And that might be of note pre-match in the Bournemouth camp, with their manager trying to highlight that. He did. They won. It's a league double over the Gunners for Andoni Iraola.
Andoni, big, hard-fought 3 points here at the Emirates. So what was key in getting the result today?
For me, I think I liked the game overall, even the first half. I think we've had our chances. Evanilson had a couple. We didn't score, but I think we were playing well. And probably the key was the set plays in the second half. The throw-in, the corner. I think at the end, in this kind of close games, to make the difference with the set plays, I think it was the key to take the 3 points.
How important was it when you weren't getting those chances, and when you weren't getting the goals with the chances, to stay composed and keep pushing and go look for alternatives?
Yes, I think we've been at half-time talking about it was a good first half. I think obviously they are going to have some chances. We are playing Arsenal away, but we were playing well. We were having a lot of the ball. We were taking good positions, arriving not a lot of chances, but we had decent chances, especially the two from Eva. And it was a matter of doing same things, trying to push a little bit more. And I think the subs also today helped us. Antoine coming from the bench, I think it was a good spark, in that moment when both teams were tired, and I'm really happy. Yes.
How much practice do you put in those long throw-ins? Because it's not usual to see goals like this anymore.
Yes, we hadn't scored any this season, just the first one. I remember we conceded 2 or 3 because it's Brentford and Ipswich. And we have a couple of players, Antoine, James Hill, who can put dangerous balls. Really, today was longer than I expected from Antoine, and a nice moment to score this kind of goals, yes.
And then,
yes, he enjoyed those 2 goals in 8 minutes. A reminder, they are up to 8th, which could be enough for European football next season. As it stands, they would be also finishing in their highest ever league position. They managed 9th once under Eddie Howe. As I mentioned, they've already won more games ever in their history in the top flight. They've already got more points than they've ever done in the history in the top flight. I mean, the giant strides that this guy is leading Bournemouth to.
I think we might be seeing a little bit of change in the Premier League. Bournemouth aren't the first team to be surprising us like this. From humble beginnings, I mean, they were bottom of the Division 2 only 10 years ago. So it's the most incredible rise. And there's no slowing them down. They've probably got the smallest stadium in the Premier League. I guess revenue is probably smaller than anybody else's as well, or right down. However, they keep unearthing gems. They've got a great playing squad, a great manager. They're just a very, very good team. And I think we're seeing so many of these. You look at the league table now, it's no longer a surprise to see Fulham up there in the top half, or Brighton. Brighton have done it for a long time.
Bournemouth, Fulham and Forest came up together.
Exactly. Bournemouth now as well. I mean, we're getting Manchester United and Tottenham in the bottom half. I just think that these teams are very wealthy as well, and they can buy the good players as well.
Very good points. Great day for Bournemouth, but not